Hey everyone, this is Matt with my Model Y Adventure, and I have a what I think is or my wife kind of demanded when we ordered the rear screen for the back of our Model Y is this kind of, they call it a cyber button, but in essence it is a kind of button that will, and knob that will show the temperature in the car to give you a physical control of having your HVAC system versus just using the touch screen. And then there's a bunch of different buttons that exist within here. So let me get this opened. I'll kind of walk through the installation process, the contents of everything that's in here, and show you how to install it and then use it in your Model Y, your Model 3, or your Model 3 Highland. All right, so here's everything that comes in the package. There's the actual kind of like undermount screen unit here, which has a number of buttons on it. You have kind of your door pop open buttons, which I'll kind of show after it's installed, kind of the front right, rear right. Second button is rear left, and then it looks like it's a steering wheel button, which I believe is for autopilot. And you can basically either push the button down or up, depending on the function you wanted to use. Some of these buttons might be more appealing to others, but you actually have a park button. I think it's a hazards button, drive reverse. Let me just switch hands holding the camera here to pick it up. The right side, let me angle it so that you can see it. It looks like the front trunk, the trunk. Sport mode, looks like potentially heated seats or maybe defrost. Seat controls, windows, just a bunch of things. I'll go through in the manual and show kind of what each of the buttons do. But it also includes this kind of plastic mount, which is what's going to basically hold it. You have one mount there, and it basically is going to hold the screen. The difference is each of these are depending on the model. So this one, see if the camera will focus to let you read it. But on here it says, oop, I had it upside down. I may not be able to read it. This is Model 3 Highland, it says right here. And then this is the Model 3, might be able to see that one, Model 3/Y. They include a pry tool because you do have to pry open part of your trim in the front. Very easy to do. I'll walk you through that step by step. A USB cable here. We can see it. This one's angled. USB-C, if I put it in the camera here, both ways, which is, I believe, is how this unit gets power. Now there is on the back here this battery spot. And I wonder if you can use it just with a battery versus plugging in a USB. So I'll have to look into that. It says you need battery 18650, which I'm not even familiar with kind of what that is. I'll have to Google it and see. And then the last piece is, these are what some of the aftermarket products like the Sexy buttons have, or the kind of dock in the middle of the car. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of it is. The ability to plug this into your can. Now I have an AMD plug. There's a separate one for Intel, but this basically, I love this iteration of it because it has the pass-through, where I already have a device plugged in to the can spot in the front right passenger side for the auto-presenting door handles. So this will allow me to plug in this device to control or basically have the buttons control the car, but I can still plug in my auto-presenting door handles. And then there's a power to power this unit. So I'll show you how all this plugs in, how all of it works. So that way you can kind of see how the installation process is for yourself. So I'm in the front passenger side of the car here, and basically to get access we need to get down here where my hand is behind this trim panel. So we have to take off this plastic cover piece, this plastic trim piece, and then this piece that's underneath it. And I'm just going to use my existing trim removal tool. The orange one that they sent in the kit is something you can use as well, but you just need to get in behind here and then pry, and then you can peel it right off. It's basically just held on by the clips up here. The same thing with this one. I find it a little bit easier. You can use your hand here. You can also remove the weather stripping that's kind of right over the trim piece to remove it too. But that just comes right off. You do have to, when you take this one up, pull up, because there's this long bottom of the trim piece that's holding into position. So you can see the clip here, the hole that it plugs into right here. So you're just pulling away, pulling up. And then, let me move the camera here a little bit. There is this plastic retention piece right here. The easiest thing, I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand and then push this out with the other, is you just stick it in between. A little hard with just one hand here. But you're basically gonna pull the middle part out. Let's see if I can get it here. I'm going to have to put the camera down and bring you back to it. So give me just a second here. So in essence, when it's in here, you just want to put the pry tool in between the two and then push away. And it's in essence pulling this middle part out. So then you can just pull this out, and then you can just pull this trim piece back. And that's out of the way. So let me adjust the camera and kind of put you down in the seat foot area to kind of see what we're doing in here to insert the cables. One piece I forgot to mention is down here, there is a piece of carpet trim, a piece of carpet that's being held on again down here where my finger is pointing by one of these push clips. You do have to also remove that so you can pull the carpet back. So after you remove the carpet, in essence, there's two spots we're going to plug into. So the can kind of harness here is going to plug. I already have a device into here, which is for the auto presenting door handles. But if you don't have anything plugged in, it's just a matter of simply inserting the plug. I need to unplug mine so I can plug this kind of splitter in, and I'll plug the auto presenting door handles into here. And then there's a power splitter, which is what this white part that my finger's pointing to is going to plug into. Now I have a bunch of extra kind of wires and stuff in here for the ambient lighting kit, for the auto presenting door handles. I have an extra piece that's unplugged here, which is for the light. You can kind of see that I have an aftermarket one here for the ambient lighting kit. So if you don't have any of that, you won't obviously have any of these extra wires to deal with. So what I do recommend that we do first is actually powering down the vehicle. So I'm going to go to safety, scroll all the way down. Oh, did I just turn something off? No. And then down here, hit the power off button, hit power off. Now, as long as you leave the door open, the passenger side, and don't press like the brake pedal, open any of the other doors, your car is fine and it won't power back on. So down here, let me move the trim piece out of the way. I might need my hand back so I can pull this clip out. So give me just a second to do that, and I'll plug the new one in, and then we'll walk through the power cable. So I did just unplug that. Now it's just a matter of inserting the adapter or kind of splitter that they have into this spot. Oop, gotta move this cable out of the way. It can only go in one way because there's these kind of spots here that match up. You can see the gray harness here. So those just only go in one way. That's inserted, and then I'm just going to take my auto presenting door handles, plug that into here, and then down here is the power one. So let me go through that step, move the auto presenting door handle one out of the way. For this clip, there's right by where my finger, let me move the camera a little bit, there's just a little part you're going to push in, and then you can pull this out. So let me see if I can do this one-handed here. There we go. That just pulls simply right out. And again here, we're just going to insert, move it back over here, insert this cable down here. Move that out of the way. All right, and then insert the power cable that's from here into the one that was in here originally. So let me get the cables plugged in while I can have my extra hand back and then show you the next steps. Again, so just to summarize, CAN connector plugs into here. The power connector plugs into here. They do include with it a fuse. So that is inserted here. It looks like, trying to read it, I think it says 25, 15. Kind of hard to read with 5. I can't see with the reflection. But that's included, just obviously better protection. And I just inserted the original power plug into the splitter that goes down to there, has the fuse, and I plugged in, for me, the auto presenting door handles. So the next steps is just basically to hide everything back into here, and then just do the reverse steps. Put the carpet back, put the trim piece back, plug the carpet, push pin down into here, put the trim pieces back up here. So I'll do that off camera here, and then the next step will be kind of walking through putting the dock onto the screen. All right, so I have, you can see here the trim, everything is all put back together. So I have kind of the dock piece here, and then I have the adapter piece that goes on top to kind of lock it into position. So the way that it works is there's basically just a hook piece that slides into it. You're going to insert this underneath your screen and, kind of center it up, and then take this piece, flip it down, and then it's going to lock into position right onto there. So let me do that same thing on my side. Just for ease, I'm also going to plug in on the bottom here is for the USB. I'm going to plug that in too. And then it's just going to, for right now, just for the video purposes, I'll plug it in down here, and then I can clean up the wires afterwards, after I kind of show everything with it. So let me get that step done, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have it installed. Just to show you, I do have a mount that lets you kind of adjust the screen. Let me bring the light back here. You can see it fits kind of in between the screen and this mount right here, and it fits great. I can still adjust the screen left to right, side to side. There's no interference with it at all. And then I have kind of the buttons down here. So the USB cable, you can route it from down here to here. I know they have hubs that you can get to even, like run the wire, like I have here for the MagBack wireless charger, that you can run it into the glove box with like an adapter for USB-C for this cable, as well as then USB-A for your Sentry camera. I'm just going to plug mine down into here. Move the paper out of the way for the USB-C ports that are right down there, just to kind of show it power up and everything. So let me get this USB cable connected and then show you how you can use your new dock. Okay, so now the car, I just hit the brake pedal to kind of power it back on. You can see that this does come with an ambient light strip kind of up here. I don't see anything that's coming out the bottom, but you do have, the ability to kind of, you can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, really so many different colors. I'm going to keep it blue because that's what I have. You can kind of see it, the ambient light coming through the sides, back in the door. Blue is kind of my favorite color, obviously, because I have a blue car. But I'm just going to tap it, and now it is on auto. So just to show you, HVAC, it's on auto right now. You can adjust kind of the different fan speeds. So you can hear it kicking up the fan speed. Bring it back down to 2. Now, from my understanding, there is kind of a limitation where the numbers and data that you see here may not match kind of what you're seeing on the screen. So you can see I'm on fan speed 4, but it still says low, and it still says auto. So that may not connect in sync with it, but you still have control over it. And I can see here now, if I just tap it in, it's at 70. So if I bring it down, you can see it's not changing the temperature that's here, but the car, I don't know if you can hear the fan, it is coming out, like, or not feel hear the fan, but feel the temperature. I can feel the temperature difference, but you can change it, and it is adjusting the temperature that's there. You can see it, the ambient light is going blue from right to left because I'm making it colder. If I make it warmer, it's going left to right with red. That's a pretty nice, or pretty cool touch to kind of immerse you into it. But those are kind of the different modes. Fan speed, temperature. If I hold it in, we'll see if it does anything different. Then you can choose your ambient light color. Tap it again back to the speed. So I just want to walk through kind of then what the different buttons are. So on the very left, this button here, you have the open front right door, open rear door. So let me actually move my camera mount and close the front door. Okay, front door is closed. I'm going to push this. I don't know which one's down. I think going up is going to open the door. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you heard it, but it did pop open the door. I actually have child locks on for the rear door. So I think that's why it did not do that. So let me go to the lock screen, child lock, turn off. So now if I go back here and push down, that does the front door. If I lift up, I don't know if you heard that, but the back door just opened. So I'm not going to press anything here. Let me open up this door. And can I just show you here? So you can see the rear door is popped open. So very nice, especially for those that are struggling with how to use or open the doors. Having the ability to just pop it open, maybe especially for kids, I think is a very, very cool idea. The next button here, rear left door. I won't do that because we've already kind of gone through the different door features. The next one, it says assisted driving. So I'm just looking at the back of the instruction booklet here to kind of go through what the different buttons are. Let me turn temperature down so it's a little cooler in here. So the front or rear left door, the next set of buttons is for autopilot, and then you also have blinkers. So you can see left blinker, and it even has kind of the orange light here. That's pretty nifty. Push up, now it's the right one. Push back, it's the left one. Push it up or down and it kind of just turns it off. Pretty cool in terms of the immersion. The next set of buttons are for the different gears that are here. There's park, and then it says double flashing alarm light. So I'm already in park, but just pushing up on the button actually turns on the hazards. Pretty cool. So you don't have to actually then go up here and push the hazards button. You can just do it all from right here. I'm not gonna, because I'm sitting in the passenger seat, do the driver reverse, but that will put it in drive reverse. Then switching over here to the right side, we have the front trunk, and then the rear. I call it the front trunk because my wife hates the term frunk, so excuse me for kind of having that etched into my mind. The frunk and the trunk. So I'm going to push this one, and we can see here I have the powered frunk. Opens it, and I'm going to push it again. Oh, I actually hit the wrong one. Opened up the trunk. I'll do the trunk next. Push it down, powered front going down. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just gonna look backwards here. There goes the trunk. And the same thing, pushing it will open and close. Very, very cool. The next button after that is for, it says seat massage and sports mode. So I'm wondering if this is going to change between like chill, because right now I have sport and chill. So I don't see anything changing on the screen, so not sure if it's going to do anything the next time I drive. The next set of buttons next to that one, it says is for opening the charging port and then battery preheating. So pretty nifty feature there. The next one it says is for seat backwards and seat forward, which I think is going to be for the driver's side. So I'm just going to aim the camera this way, press the button. Oh, it's actually for the passenger seat. That's very cool. So moving the seat backwards and forward, so that way if you're in the driver's seat, I don't know if you've had this happen to you, but you know, my son in the back might want some more room for his feet, and it can be hard to reach over the passenger seat, reach over to the buttons over here to adjust the seat. So kind of having the control right here, that's going to come in handy a lot. And then the last one it says is for door and window locks and then floodlight, which I'm assuming is maybe the lights down here, because or maybe even the dome lights. So let's kind of see here. I'm pushing it, but the windows are still unlocked. So not sure what that one might be for. Oh, that does turn on the dome lights. On, off, on, off. Very, very cool. I wish there was an ability for this to control the volume of the car. You know, coming from an ICE car or a car with buttons, well, I love having everything on, you know, the touch screen here, being able to have a knob. I know you can do it from the steering wheel, but it's etched, you know, in your muscle memory to always just come to something and then twist it to have volume control. So I'll reach out to Ubin, where I bought the rear screen, you know, back here for that I have an installation video and review on that I'll kind of link as well, and see, you know, are there software updates that are available for this? Are there changes that you can have this control volume? Because that would be awesome, being able to not only have your HVAC control, but also volume control. I'll ask them about the differences between the number or fan speed, I should say temperature number or fan speed you see here versus what, you know, kind of shows up on the system, and see is it just really a limitation? I know there's a number of other accessories like the sexy knob, the sexy buttons, that I think have the ability with some recent software updates where whatever number for temperature or, you know, fan speed or, you know, seat heat, you know, functions are showing on that also reflect on the screen. But so far, kind of my initial impressions of the product here is it's pretty nice having the ambient lighting, being able to control all of the different features of your car. You even have the LEDs, you know, reflect kind of what's happening with it. I think is a very nifty kind of thing here to kind of show. So very kind of happy with it. I think we bought it for, I think it's $150 is what it's on the site. I'll have it linked down below. It's, you know, not an affiliate link or anything. It's just right to the company's website. But very kind of happy with it. You know, quality wise, it is plastic. So it is not like a aluminum or anything like that. So for those that are looking for kind of that premium product feel, it is plastic, but you can see it's secured very well. I'm shaking this and it's shaking the whole screen. I don't know how well it's coming across here on camera. But very happy with it, at least for the features it offers and what it can show on their website. I'm going to take a few more minutes here to kind of clean up the routing of the cable to make it look a little bit nicer, which I'm just going to run kind of back down there, and then I'm going to talk with my wife to see what we want to do, and whether we want to get a USB splitter for the glove box or just kind of leave it down in here. But even if it's just, you know, right here, it's not terrible, not the best, but you can take, as I did for the trim piece, this piece that my finger is on does come off, because that's how I have the wireless magback charger. The cable basically comes down here, runs down the trim, it comes underneath this piece and then comes up into here. You can kind of see it coming through here. They're basically, you can undo the trim piece and run it through what it plugs into. So this is kind of my unboxing installation instructions of the kind of magic dock from Ubin. Thanks everyone. Again, this is Matt from My Model Y Adventure. One last thing I did want to call out is that I've been sitting in the car long enough that it basically turned off because no one's driving the vehicle. But the dock is still, I don't know if you can tell on camera because of the light, but the LEDs are still lit up on the dock, and there is a little red light here because it's still plugged into the USB drive. So I wonder what the power use of having it, or if that just stays on forever. So I'm really wondering if that battery spot that's in the back might be kind of a better approach to power it versus having it via USB. I don't expect, because this is just in essence LED lights, it to be drawing a ton of power. That would, you know, be a concern. But I'll reach out to them with my other questions with this one as well to see, and I'll put the answers to all the questions that I kind of have in the responses kind of in the video description. So feel free, if you have any questions yourself that you were interested in, add them to a comment below, and I'm happy to reach out to them with it to see if I can get an answer. I did purchase one of those larger batteries for the back of the Magic Screen Dock, because I wanted to see if that would work versus using the USB cable. So I have installed it. You can see it powers on all by itself when you open the door. And then when you close it, basically when the car shuts off, you can see it turns off all by itself. So I'm sure there's some communication going on between the device and then the connection part down that we installed down here. So very cool that it can basically power on and off automatically when you open and close the doors. I did buy on Amazon, I'll link it down in the description, a rechargeable, one of those giant batteries. I think it was an 18650, I think, from memory. But now I don't have to worry about a USB cable or, doing wire management. It's all dynamically turning on and off when you open and close the door. So very cool. Again, this is Matt from My Model Y Adventure, and I'll link this Magic Dock down in the description below. Thanks, everyone.